In this presentation, we try to answer the question: looking at the status today, and at history, does Islam appear to be the best solution for humans? Fourth statement: Islam pretends that it is the best solution for every person. Islam pretends to be the best organization, best way, for religion, universe, and state. Which means a governing power that is religious, spiritual, and political. And that its future and aim is to eliminate all other organizations, because it is the will of Allah, in order to end the evil, and perfect the good for the world. Except that, in all the countries where this organization was applied, which is, the countries that applied the Sharia, be it in whole or partially, we can notice the following points. Point 73, it is formally forbidden to start a philosophic and explanatory discussion about the usefulness of religion or its lack. And even more, if a contradictory position was stated, that has a view differing from the Islamic religion view. The contradictory discussion is forbidden about the Islamic religion, and about everything that was written in the Veridika Hadith, and in the explanations and prophetic surahs. And more specifically anything that concerns the personality of Muhammad. Hence, the person is not free in his internal explanations and understanding of his faith, and his religious devotions. Point 74, the freedom of choosing or changing one's religion is restricted, because apostasy from Islam is punished. Apostasy is the return to disbelief, and the punishment for that, according to the discussion of Umar bin al-Khattab, is the killing of the apostate, performed either, firstly, by the family of the apostate, or, secondly, by any of the other Muslims. They justify this act by pointing at the Hadith of Umar 37, in the Book of Blood Money 87, of Al-Bukhari. The biological studies show that, in humankind, there is a slightly higher rate of male births, with respect to female births. Those studies also show that, in similar living environments and conditions, the mean human female lifespan is longer than the corresponding male lifespan. The result is that, in the countries that do not discriminate against sex, you find a bigger number of males at birth, and a bigger number of females with advancing age. The Organization of United Nations publishes annual statistics of composition of the population, for every country of the world, and according to age and sex. Point 75, and it appears that the number of adult women is less than the number of adult men, according to those statistics, in the countries of the Organization of Islamic Countries that implemented the Sharia. While the number of adult women is greater than the number of adult men, in the countries of the Organization of Islamic Countries that did not implement the Sharia. The net result is that the life of women is shorter, by 2.5 years, in the countries that implemented the Sharia. Hence, the lifespan of women is shortened in the countries that implemented the Sharia. And the same statistics show that the global human lifespan is not longer, in the countries that implemented the Sharia. The end result is that implementation of the Sharia does not extend human lifespan. Point 76, the children must obey their father, even if their father forces them to work or to beg, and leave their studies, and destroy their future. Or even, as we learned happened in some African countries, that some fathers sold their offspring as slaves, in order to pay, for example, the father's expenses pertaining to his trip to Mecca in order to perform his Hajj. Point 77, the religious discrimination, then the racial discrimination between Muslims, between brown and black, appears to us prevalent in the countries that implemented the Sharia. It happened, for example, in Pakistan, and Iraq, and the Moroccan Kingdom. Point 78, judicial rulings are aimed at speed and not truth, in accordance with the Sharia. Very often the ruling on the accused stands on 4 or even 2 witnesses only. And the judgment is not according to the cross-verifications of testimonies, and evidence, and an investigation of the charge, from all sides. For example, 2 witnesses suffice to get the hand of the accused cut, in case of robbery. Point 79. The obligation to obey the ruler, the Muslim community elders, and the imams, effectively blocks thinking and discussion. Point 80. The personal freedom to choose one's future is curtailed, and a logic of submission and auto-convincing is imposed. Point 81. And the economy is not flourishing better than the economy of corresponding, non-Islamic, countries. And the number of inventions and the arts are lagging. Hence, where is that best nation that was given to mankind? Where does flourish that best solution? In Saudi Arabia? In Yemen? In Pakistan? There is no one of our Muslim brothers who can answer this question. Point 82. We did not hear about a single non-Islamic country in the world that loved and was convinced by the Islamic Sharia, to the point where it implemented it without violence, and with the agreement of its inhabitants. Point 83. We realize, while reading the Islamic history, that it is full of wars, conquests, and seizures on the states, all that under the name of opening to Islam. We do not find a single nation that Islam opened peacefully, after the death of Muhammad. We did not find a single nation that Islam opened, where the Islamic ruler did not order the killing of those who do not believe in Allah, which means those who are neither our Muslim brothers, nor people of the Book and the Dhimma, who have fewer rights and more restraints than Muslims, but who retain their life. Of course, most our Muslim brothers will try to hide that failure in different ways, for example, the Mongolian invasion, the Turkish Empire, the colonialism. And they want us to accept that that situation has been persistent, for 1,400 years. While they do not present a logical explanation. Now, let us conclude about the fourth statement. They pretend they are the best nation that was given to earth, but the results show the opposite, factually and historically. Hence, we hope this organization will not be imposed on the world. And now, we must wonder, why? Point 84, and the immediate answer is that there is an error in the corresponding thinking. Even if Islam was revealed from Allah, is it logical and reasonable, that virtue be commanded by the means of violence and killings, and that evil be eliminated by means of enacted laws? Certainly not, because the root of evil is in our guts and in our hearts. The writer Solzhenitsyn thought on this subject, while the Soviet Union was believing in creating an ideal society, through the enactment of the communist laws. He concluded that those communist ideas were insanity and delusion, because the line of division between good and evil does not cut across states, groups, or parties, but rather within the heart of every human being, and within all of humanity. Not only is the Islamic thinking erroneous, but, even if it was revealed from Allah, it cannot achieve its goal, in a world of justice and peace.